Well, hello everyone. I'm Deb and this is DB Designs and Sewing Australia. Welcome to all my subscribers and welcome to anyone who's new. If you would like to see my 3 makes for the week, stay tuned. As I said, I've made 3 things this week, and the first thing I made was a Vetiver top. I will insert photos, of course. Now, the Vetiver top is by French Navy, and here it is here. So it's actually got princess seams front and back. So it's a top that you can get to fit you really, really well. I make the size F and style B. So style B was the one without the ruffle. So this one here doesn't have a ruffle on the bottom. And this was from a fabric I bought, which is a rayon, and it's called Pretty Woman. But it's a very, very lightweight fabric. So I didn't make it as fitted as I have made some of my other Vetiver tops. Because I've got a navy linen one that's just plain navy, and it's quite fitted. I was able to take it in up here in the princess seam. That's the best thing about princess seam. You can alter the bust fit really, really well. I'm quite happy with this top, but the fabric did pull a little bit. And I was using a Microtex needle, I think a size 10. But pretty happy with it. Be a nice cash top to wear with jeans. So that was my first make for the week. Now I bought this fabric from Lush Fabrics in Western Australia. And the best thing about the Vetiver top is you can get it out of 1 metre. Oh, there's the train going past. So our property actually backs onto the railway line, but there's only about 3 trains a week. So it's never really an issue, and the train doesn't stop here. It's just for grain store, so freight trains. So that's the Vetiver top, and it's got a bias neck, just a hem sleeve and a hemmed bottom on it. So pretty happy with that one. I'm sure I'll get some wear out of it. Now the next thing I made was a Tessuti Robe by Tessuti Patterns. Now I have made several of these. I think I've made 2 for myself, 1 each for my 4 sisters, and this one, I might have made 3 for myself, who knows. But when my daughter tried on mine, she said, oh, I want it to cross over further in the front. So I made hers a little bit wider. And she's quite short. She's shorter than me. I think she's only 5'2". So when I do the belt loops, really, really important, because patterns are made for people that are much taller than 5'4", which I pretend I still am, but probably not. It's really important that you get the belt loops not down too low. Otherwise, when you tie it up, it's sort of slung around your hips. So rather than your waist. So I make it up, and before I do the side seams, I try it on and see where the belt loops need to be. Now, all of my sisters are only the same height as me or shorter. So this is one of my daughters that's shorter, so I made her belt loops in the same place that I would make them for myself, because she's shorter than me in the legs, not in the body. So this is her robe. I will pop photos in. Now I actually got this Indian block print from Spotlight, where they have their clearance section, and it was only $8 a metre. So really happy with how this turned out, and it's something that she'd asked for. Now my favourite make for the week is the Artist Muse Matisse fabric that was in a bespoke box from the Dahlia Sewciety, and I made it longer in the back. I extended the length of the whole shirt, and I didn't have any scooping on the front or the back, which is what is in the pattern, I'm sure. Yes, it is. So this is the pattern, and I actually make a 14 in it. So I made it, what did I say? I extended the length by 7 centimeters at the back and by about 4 centimeters at the front. So you can see it's got the side splits there. Absolutely love it. I think it looks really good, and I'm going to get heaps of wear out of this in summer. Now, I predominantly made it to wear with white pants that I'm yet to make, because I'd said, you know, white linen pants, be able to see your undies through it, even if you wear nude coloured undies. And I know that from making white jeans, that you can see everything through it. So I've got this on in the photos with my white jeans, and I absolutely love it. As an overshirt or a buttoned up shirt, I even put a button on the very, very top so that I could button the collar if I wanted to. Really happy with this shirt, the outcome of this shirt. The fabric is so beautiful. It's quite a cool touch fabric. And with the sleeves, I didn't do the cuffs. What I did was an 11.5 centimeter facing. So you can see there's the facing on it, so that you can wear it turned up if you wanted to, or you can just pull the sleeves up, or they don't, it only comes down to here anyway. So just for a bit of versatility. And I did an inverted pleat in the back, because that's what I like to do. Women's shirts have inverted pleats and men's shirts have box pleats. I don't know where, I think my mother told me that. But this is just beautiful. I absolutely love it. So they were my 3 makes for the week. And what I've got on my sewing table at the moment is the Elodie wrap dress. So this is the Elodie wrap dress, and I am making, I think, the medium length with the short sleeves, and I'm not sure if I'm going to put pockets on it or not, because they're patch pockets. I don't know. But the fabric I'm using is this gorgeous fabric that I bought from May Design when I was up in Bright in February. I am fully lining the dress, so this is going to be the lining. And I have used the stay tape that I was talking about the other day, which is your iron-on tape here in the front, because of course I'm not putting the facings in because I am fully lining it. I am going to put that tape also on the inside of the top layer, so of the fashion fabric as it's called. So what I did have to do with this was, even though it's an abstract design, it does have some huge things that look like giant flowers on it. It's beautiful fabric, just beautiful. So you can see, you do not want that on one of your boobs. So when I was cutting out the front, I had to make sure that I was placing it, this is going to be one side, so that it did not have a giant bullseye there. So I fiddled around with that because I've only cut out the bodice of the lining and the bodice of the fashion fabric at the moment. It really is a very nice pattern, and it has these tucks in the back and in the front. I guess you'd call them pleats, really. They're not darts because they're not sewn all the way up. So you can see that it will give that effect when it's over your bust. So I'm hoping that this is going to be a very successful fitted dress. I did make up a bit of a toile in a different fabric, but I only made, basically I just did the two fronts and the back, put the pleats in it, sewed the side seams and the shoulder seams to make sure it was going to fit, because I didn't want it to be too long in the bodice. So by too long in the bodice, I meant that it wasn't going to come under the bust. Is there a picture with someone wearing it? So as you can see, the band that is basically your waistband is actually on your high waist, so that those pleats there are under your bust, which is the way I wanted it to be, so that when you pulled it around to tie it, it's going to cover your bust and keep it in. Not sure if I'll have to stitch a top stitching up, but I've been very careful not to stretch any of the fabric, remembering that when you're thinking about something like this coming over your bust, this part here is very much on the bias, very easy to stretch the front of a wrap dress. So to eliminate any gaping, I use that stay tape. Now it's the stay tape with the line of stitching in it. So I'm thinking that will be very successful, and I'm hoping that it's going to avoid any gaping. So I think the firmer fitting you can have it in the bust, the better it's going to be. Now, what I did like about this pattern is it's got a centre back seam. So if you're ever thinking that you need any alterations on something and it's cut on the fold, it's not going to be as easy to do. But when you've got a centre back seam, you can do shaping in it if you needed to. When I made my toile, I didn't need to bring the back in anymore in any section. It fitted perfectly. And I actually made I think I made the 14 in this. But it's a long time since I've sewn anything with a 1.5 centimetre, or actually it's 1.6 centimetre or 5/8 of an inch seam allowance. And so the seam allowances seem huge on it because most patterns are not using that much. But I haven't overlocked any of it. I have trimmed it off and pressed it open. So, and I've clipped it, pressed it open, and I will be, I'm not sure if I'm going to stitch those panels to each other in the lining and the fashion fabric. That's yet to be determined. So I won't be lining the sleeves, but I'll be fully lining the bodice and the skirt. I don't think you can see through this fabric. But, oh, you can see like shadowing. But it is a lawn that costs a lot of money, and it's a Lady McElroy fabric. And I thought, you know, I'm going to do a slow sew on this, but that hasn't stopped me from cutting out anything else. I have cut out the Huette dress by Corset, which is this pattern. And it's this pattern. Now, there's two booklets. One's in English, so that's the one I went with. But this is seriously not for the faint-hearted. It says it's for intermediate. Do not do this pattern if you're a beginner, because it will put you off. Hate to put people off. Need to choose something that's really simple. And this is not simple. I'm sure it's probably easy to sew, but following even how to cut it out was rather nightmarish. Wondering if I had all the pieces, and I'm a person that when I'm going to cut something out, like this one, I have marked all the pieces. I've made sure I've got all those pieces when I've cut out my pattern, which pieces need to be interfaced, all that, because if I have enough fabric, I do like to block interface. So this, much more difficult. So I'll be very interested to see how this works out. Now that is in the viscose lurex that I got in a bespoke box. So I'll let you know how I go with that one. Now the other thing I cut out was the Abbey dress by Wardrobe by Me. This lovely dress here, and I'll be making that one. I won't be putting ruffles on it, and I won't be putting tiers on it. So just this plain, quite a plain dress. And it's got a facing for the insides of the sleeves. And this is the fabric I'm using. So this is a Euro Visco, and it was from the Dahlia Sewciety Emerald City box. And because this is a bit geometric, so the same as if I had checks, I am going to put the facing of the sleeve on the outside and not on the inside, and I've cut it on the bias to see if I can get the geometric pattern to be on the cross. That's what I'm doing this week. A little bit about life. Well, the man's coming to unblock our sewer, and I suspect there's lots of tree roots in there. So that's probably going to be a costly exercise, I would suspect. But that's what happens when you buy houses, and as soon as we gave them our address, here it in you, because they've been here before. So we did have a plumber come last week, but his equipment didn't reach down far enough. And I know it's that huge tree in the front yard that is causing the issues. I don't want to cut down that tree in the front yard or poison it or whatever they do to it, because it's a really beautiful tree, but we'll have to decide what we're going to do about it. But hopefully we can get our sewer fixed so that I can do some washing, because I had to go to the laundromat. Can you believe I had to go to the laundromat? And I've lost a pillowcase. I don't know where it is. Probably still at the laundromat somewhere, I suspect. Yes, so I did have to go to the laundromat, but I did come home and put all the washing on the line. And because I've got a Hills rotary hoist, I can fit 4 loads of washing on my clothesline. So it's a fabulous clothesline. But I haven't... I bought lots of fabric when I went to Bendigo the other day and met a friend there, and she took me to all the fabric places, and yeah, it's just all in a big pile in the laundry waiting to be washed. So some beautiful fabrics there, but I'll show you all that next week. I'm going to continue on with my Elodie wrap dress. What am I wearing? One of my favourite things, the unwind hoodie jumper by Pattern Emporium, and some Anita Ponte pants by, I think they're Tessuti. Yeah, by Tessuti. In, this is this fabric, the Heathered Navy Brushed Tri-Blend French Terry by Lush Fabrics. Very, very warm fabric. Really, really nice. And it's freezing here once again. After all the rain last night, they come outside and there's just frogs everywhere. So that's all from me. Everybody have a wonderful week. I hope you get lots of sewing done. I'm anticipating I will get lots of sewing done. My grandchildren are coming on Wednesday, so I hope to get that Elodie dress finished before then, as I may need to concentrate because I am lining it. So There is a video about lining it, and Closet Core actually have a bit of a blog on how to line it. Okay, everybody have a wonderful week. Please like and subscribe, and I will talk to you all next week. Bye.